What's up, y'all? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. And you know something, guys? Some of you might remember a couple of months ago, I had the Crayola virus. You know, my son and we both had it. And, I did a couple of videos while I had it. It wasn't like it was overwhelming. I was never hooked up to no machines, never felt like I was going to die or whatever. And he didn't have any symptoms at all. You know, we both isolated for our 10 days and we went through it and we got better, thank God. Definitely shout out to everybody out there who have loved ones or friends or associates who got the bad case of this one and passed away. I'm by no means trying to belittle that, but one of the questions that I've had, since then would be, I read a lot while I was home during that time because I wanted to know what was going on, what was happening and stuff. So I tried to be as informed as possible. I talked to a couple of professionals, talked to the Department of Health, and I was surprised to find out at that time that after you've had the virus, you do develop a natural immunity to the virus that lasts for quite a while. And I was wondering, well, why do we never talk about that? Why is there never anything on the news that talks about that? Everybody talks about the jab and how you can get back to life after you've gotten the jab and everything and all of the privileges that affords you and everything. But they never talk about the fact that those people who recovered from the virus, and there's a lot of us out there, so you would think this would be relevant to actually talk about and inform people about, why do they not talk about that and, mention those people in the same context as those who have an immunity that's been brought on by the jab? Why do they never talk about that? So that's something that's been on my mind because there is a new discrimination that's going on out here. You guys have seen it. It's those who get the jab versus those who haven't gotten the jab. So in that conversation would be people who have recovered. Because one thing that I found out that got me so heated is that once you've had the Crayola virus, there are people who actually don't want you around them because they feel like you're probably still contagious and, there's not a whole lot of information about what happens after you recover from this virus. So that's what's been going on. And that's what I was faced with. That's what my son was faced with. There were a couple of family gatherings where they expressed concern about having him around. And, I got angry about that at first. I was fucking pissed. But then I realized because we don't have a lot of information about that, is it unreasonable of me to hold them to account for what they don't know? And the answer is yes, of course it is, because you can fucking find out, you know what I mean? But a lot of people are not doing that. They choose to just go straight in with their misconceptions and, just holding it against people who have had it and stigmatizing us. So, like I said, the question has been, why doesn't that fucking Fauci dude, why doesn't he talk about that? Why doesn't he talk about that as much as he talks about getting the jab? Because these people are out there. Why not? We're out there in the tens and probably hundreds of thousands. More people survive COVID than ever pass away from it. You know what I mean? So my thing is, you would think there would be more information about that. So I just want to bring up to you guys, what I'm feeling about this, because I do feel like the conversation should start, because as we see more openings happening, more, privileges, dropping the mask mandate, only if you've had the jab can you walk around without a mask. Can you attend concerts? Can you go on cruise ships and all that stuff? Well, what about the people who have a natural immunity? You know what I mean? Natural immunity. They don't talk about that. So let me just read something that's here in MedPage today. I want you to think about this, guys, all right? Because I want this discussion to happen because, like I said, school is going to start again in the fall, and you have all these places that are mandating, you actually have some colleges out there and hospitals, of course, that are mandating that people get the jab. Well, what about if you've actually had the virus already, okay? So it says here, epidemiologists estimate over 160 million people worldwide have recovered from this virus. Those who have recovered have an astonishingly low frequency of repeat infection, disease, or death. Imagine that. That immunity from prior infection protects many people now where vaccines are not yet available. Earlier this month, the World Health Organization released a scientific update stating that most people who have recovered from the virus develop a strong protective immune response. Importantly, they summarized that within 4 weeks of infection, 90% to 99% of people who recover from it develop detectable neutralizing antibodies. Furthermore, they conclude, given the limited amount of time to observe cases, that the immune responses remain strong for at least 6 to 8 months after infection, which of course is comparable to getting the jab. This update echoes what the NIH, that's the National Institute of Health, I guess, or reported in January 2021. The immune response of more than 95% of people who recovered from the virus had durable memories of the virus up to 8 months after infection. The NIH went further to state that those findings provide hope that people who get vaccinated will develop lasting or similar lasting immunity. Hope, okay? They're hoping that this is what happens. And let me tell you something else about getting the jab. The jab, a lot of experts are saying, okay, you can look it up yourself. This is not, obviously I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but there are a lot of voices in the community, of the scientific community, that are saying that the jab only protects you primarily from the original strain of the virus. They're not really doing anything as much. They are helping now, okay, but it's not doing as much against, say, the Delta strain, all right, which has been just classified as a variant of concern by the CDC. So it's not helping as much, whereas natural immunity actually protects you from the wide spectrum, because it's what your body is doing. It's what it's actually made for. Now, I'm not saying people should just go running out and get the virus. That's obviously not the answer. All right. But what I'm saying is that this is the discussion that's being had. You know what I mean? Natural immunity versus the jab. Which one is actually better? Of course, there's a lot of people who feel very, very strongly about this. So please don't come on here arguing. Okay, I'm just trying to have the discussion because the discussion is being had. And I feel like it should be more visible. It should be more audible. So I just want to do my part with this tiny, teeny little channel that I have to add to that discussion. So, why are we focused on vaccine-induced immunity in our goals to reach herd immunity? Our gatekeeping on travel, public or private events, or mask use while ignoring natural immunity? And that's what I was saying. Shouldn't those who have natural immunity also be able to return to normal activities? Really? Shouldn't we? They're not talking about that. You don't hear Fauci saying shit about that. Numerous scientists have found that there is a decreased risk of reinfection and extremely low rates of hospitalization and death due to repeat infection. The range of reduction of reinfection from the virus was between 82% and 95% among 6 studies that encompassed nearly 1 million people, conducted in the US, the UK, Denmark, Austria, Qatar, and among US Marines. The study in Austria also found that the frequency of reinfection from the virus caused hospitalization in only 5 out of 14,840, that's 0.03% of people, and death in 1 out of the same 14,840 people, that's 0.01%. Okay, so there it is, guys. All right, and the more I research this and look into it, the more proof that I'm seeing that natural immunity is actually something that should be in the discussion. So it makes me wonder why it's not in the discussion, and it makes me believe that because these big pharma companies, yes, I'm going there, because they're making tens of hundreds of billions of dollars worldwide off of this shit, that they're keeping that natural immunity on the low. Once again, I'm not saying you should go out and get the virus, the Crayola virus. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is for the people who will inevitably get it, and for the vast majority of people who recover from it, it should be considered that these people, us people, have achieved natural immunity, and what the actual implications of that are when it comes to resuming normal life. I see all these signs up on stores. If you had the jab, then you don't have to wear a mask. Well, I haven't had the jab, but I have natural immunity, as does my son, as do many people out there. So where's the consideration for that? Why is that not being discussed, is my point. And unlike people who have, may or may not have had the jab, natural immunity is something that you get, of course, after you've had the virus, which in most cases are actually documented. right? In your communities, in your counties and stuff like that. I know I was counted, So there's my point, guys. I just want to know why it's not being discussed. I'm not saying what is real, what's not real, what you've heard, what versus. I'm not interested in that. I just want to know, where is it in the discussion? Okay, so don't come in here telling me about this and about that and why getting the jab is better. Get the jab, okay? Get the jab. This is not an anti-jab video. What I'm saying is, why isn't natural immunity in the discussion? Why is natural immunity not in the discussion? That's the point of the video, okay? So let's focus on that, because when you focus on that, you realize there's no reason why natural immunity is not in the discussion, other than the fact that big pharma and politicians are running the show right now, and they want to herd people into this, okay? While ignoring what's been going on as far as the studies on natural immunity. Look it up yourself. Don't believe shit from me, okay? This video could get taken down. I don't care. I have to speak my mind, because as you guys know, I am the gospel according to Mark with a C. Get in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about this. Like, share, subscribe. Catch me on Twitter. If not, I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for listening. Rock on.